We weren't, mate.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we'll see how quick Wanderers can play forward this half. When things are a little loose defensively for Wellington, and when perhaps they're at their most vulnerable. And here's how it's starting in this second half at Bankwest with Wanderers. They're doing a bit of that in the first half, especially the first 15 minutes. A lot of passing between the back three before it really burst to life. And ball in space. It's a misdirected one that Natta got in the way of, but coughs it straight back up to Cameron Devlin and out to Rufer at right back. Devlin cleans up. There's no reason why, Robbie, given both sides are off 8-day breaks, given the conditions, the pitch is good, that the pace is only go up a notch in the second half.
I don't see any slowing down. And you can see right from the start of the second half, both sides probing, looking to get forward quickly.
Tangle between Rufer and Abini. It's usually around the hour mark that Carl Robinson starts making changes to the attacking trio. Davila, get back to that in a moment, because Reno Piscopo has some space and doesn't need to be asked twice to have a go. Yeah, it's Bruce Kamau is almost the last half-hour specialist for Wanderers. And there's Yeboah and Cox available. Zabini, Troisi and Duke in an attacking sense for now, with Wilmering and Russell joining in. Duke can rise with the header, which finds eventually the gloves of Ollie Sale.
And you don't want to be giving Mitchell Duke too much room like that in the penalty box. That one he didn't really get a hold of, a difficult one, as he was running at it and was slightly behind him.
Wilmering again with the cross, looking for Troisi this time, but headed away by McGarry, Bacchus, Duke, Payne. Shoulder into each other, back to Wilmering again. Bacchus feeds Wilmering in. Roof is out there to help, but it ricochets into the path of Troisi, who gets it back to Abini. Onto the right, goes back to Jordan Mutch, who sends it even over the top of the RBB.
Yeah, he puts that one back, Abini, to Jordan Mutch on the edge of the penalty area. He completely mishit his shot, but I thought it opened up just for a second for Abini to hit this with his right. Just there.
With that lone goal last week. Wanderers a much needed win. They'd love one at home. This would mean a lot if they can come back from this position. Wellington 32 times, past 32 games that they've scored 2 or more goals. They've only lost the game twice, so it can't happen too often. Comeback win against the Knicks when they're in scoring form. It's Piscopo again in a lot of space. Wayne back to Davila. They just got their wires crossed on that occasion, Wellington. Beanie, he's got Mutch in free space, centre of the park with options. He goes right to Russell. Russell head-to-head with the other fullback on that side, McGarry, and McGarry does really well to get a toe in. Lewis, who's slotted really comfortably into that more withdrawn role. Miller trying to win a foul, and he's successful in his application.
Wellington, when they win that ball, and Carl Robinson said it, they always try to go quick in transition.
Clayton Lewis, I saw him as one of those number 10s early on, the attacking midfielders where Piscopo and Davila are playing set up tonight for Wellington early on, but I was really impressed since he's gone into that deeper role. Looking to impress all white selectors. Lewis, it's Keanu Bacchus, the Ollie Roo. to Wilmering. Natta, Bacchus. Marshalled by Devlin Bacchus. They used to be teammates in the Wanderers Academy. Gordon. Russell. Quick ball in. Too heavy. Rufer. Ball batting away as he does. Puts so much effort in the striker for Wellington, but successfully on that occasion. Nice little idea there from Duke. Troisi nearly had a second go at it, but in the end wins a corner.
Yeah, paying it full stretch in the second one. Nice little touch from Duke. Troisi looked like he was in behind and just wouldn't fall for him. And he does get the corner.
Troisi's corner. It does find the head of Jordan Mutch. Again an equaliser for the Wanderers, this time off the head of their English import. And Ollie Sale could only see it go into low to his left, and he's filthied his team in front of him. Wanderers right back in it.
Well, we've said balls into the box, they have looked threatening. Duke, Hibini, and this time it's Jordan Mutch with a clever header. I don't think he even jumps. Flat delivery. Hits that with the laces, Troisi. Mutch just gets up, and he's stronger, and he punches that ball with his head into the back of the net. Past Ollie Sale, who's not at fault for that. That's a really good header. Downward, bounces just in front of the keeper, right in the corner. Wanderers with a great response.
And back-to-back goals for Jordan Mutch, who wasn't a noted goal scorer at Premier League level in his 78 matches in top league in England across a few clubs like Crystal Palace and Cardiff, but 7 goals in the Premier League. In his fourth start, his fourth appearance for his new club, 2 goals. Plenty more to come here at Bankwest over the next 40 minutes or so. 2 good sides who are just searching as many attacking opportunities as possible. Gordon is slow to get up on that far side, eventually does Ziggy. Kurt Amps, he's had a busy 24 hours. He refereed the game in the slush there on the Central Coast yesterday between the Mariners and Perth. Itself finished 2-2. Entirely sure that the scoring's done with here tonight. Duke was more hopeful than anything, but eventually found Bacchus. He can't quite keep it back in. Duke. Everyone's around yelling at each other. There's untoward about all of that from Sean Evans. Down to Mark Bosnich. Your impression of the first 10 minutes of this second half, Bozza?
Well, from the Western Sydney Wanderers' point of view, what a difference to the start in the first half to the start in the second half. The start in the second half has been absolutely superb, and it's really coming down this left-hand side, something we talked about in the first half, about attacking Alex Rufer, who's not a natural right back, and Wilmering, again, just basically using common sense. I mean, I remember right at the start, he crossed the first 2, not floated them, whipped them in, the ball come back to him, then he played the little slide ball as the Wellington defenders has stayed off him. And it's been like that right from the beginning, the pace and basically the directness, and you saw even Ziggy Gordon right before the goal, before they got the corner, making that run, you know, attacking that space with the ball, completely different. And Wellington, you can see, right from that intent from Western Sydney Wanderers, a little bit on the back foot right now, so they have to hold out here and stay in this fight.
Here's Bacchus all the way out to Russell. Early ball again, it's rifled across. Duke got a little bit on it, not enough though. Out for a goal kick.
And he knows that's a good chance, Mitchell Duke, because he gets across his defender. Doesn't get enough on it, just glances this one. He's looking for that far post. Flashes across the face of the box. Good stuff from Wanderers. And they're punching that ball forward much quicker, much earlier.
Cross from Tate Russell as well, just rifled in. Troisi over his shoulder, and he finds Tim Payne. Mutch is too tall for Lewis. Troisi charging at Rufer and battling away and winning it. And perhaps the cross with his left foot can come in. He dinks it nicely just over the stretching Mitchell Duke. Now McGarry and Russell are in a foot race down this far side. Back to Lewis. Ball, Escopo. And now they'll just take a breath in possession, Wellington.
And just a quick one on the goal, Adam. And, you know, like I said, and, you know, there are trends in football always, and people like to do things that suit them the best, and we know why people don't like to have men on the post, so they don't like people around the goalkeeper. But I think it'd be interesting if you did a study of how many goals were scored with people not on the post as opposed to how many when not scored. I think you'd find the more times people are on the post, the less goals there would be.
Well, a lovely idea, allowing it to go through to Wayne. Quite stick initially for Devlin, but they can go this left side. Escopo, Gordon's firing in at him. Devlin, he picks out ball. He's looking for the run of Wayne on this other side. Still alive for Wellington. Lewis out to McGarry, one-on-one with Russell. Does well to get the crossover. Ben Wayne can't quite strain the neck enough to get enough on that header.
No, right idea, trying to send it back from where it came. Terrific battle that is, Russell and McGarry. McGarry one-on-one, good enough. He dropped the shoulder. Just slipped a little bit there, but gathered it again, floats it to the back stick. Right idea, but a tough one. And now Wellington asking a few questions.
Duke losing it. He wants to get it back. Ziggy Gordon did the job for him just in time as well. And now Jordan Mutch can go the other way. The long, loping stride of Jordan Mutch carries it the length of Bankwest. McGarry, for the second time this season, I think he's copped it where you do not want to cop it once, let alone twice. Oh, eyes watering. Poor guy, not again. He might have just only recovered from all those weeks ago at Gosford. Robbie?
No, you don't need to add to that.
Okay.
Thing is, it recovers quickly. And they'll need to. Another set piece.
Let's see what they do with this corner. No one on the post again. Troisi, it's driven in to Duke. One of his teammates got in the way, it looked like. Trying to carry it out, his ball, and he's heavily met by Ziggy Gordon, who goes into the book.
They didn't really need to make that strong a challenge, Ziggy Gordon. Free header, Mitchell Duke, flat delivery again. It's on target. Comes off his own play, a lot of bodies in there.
Gowan's actually calling for a handball because the arm was half wrapped around him, but to be a brave Chris Griffith-Jones in the VAR booth to call over Sean Evans for that one. Poor old James McGarry is still not moving freely. Carl Robinson is thinking clearly. His players are thinking clearly for him right now. It's been a really impressive start for Wanderers in this second half. Needed to be at home, heaping on pressure. Only the 1 win from 5 matches played so far at Bankwest this season. This is beat to it by Devlin. Got some fresh legs coming on for Wellington shortly, but Davila can find Ben Wayne, but his touch lets him down.
Look at Wanderers straight away, forward.
Brilliant ball from Bacchus to Duke onto Abini. One-on-one with McGing, loses his footing at the worst possible time.
And you just think Bernie, you know, when he's at his top, he's one-on-one like that, he doesn't need a trick. He's got so much pace, just push it past him. Power down that outside of the defender.
Rufer asking for help, just gives it away. Tale, his manager, arms outstretched. Look at that for Alex. That ball staying in just. Gordon. Given in space. Looks not to take it, turns back to McGowan, now to Natta. There's that diagonal ball again, Abini with Duke. The feed off that ball, that potential header. Ball turned brilliantly to Skippo. Over the top to Davila, so they again break cleanly. Wellington. This is Davila. All the way over to Clayton Lewis will have a go. And that had Daniel Margush very, very interested.
Yeah, it had him scrambling across the face of his goal. Terrific ball from Davila. Clayton Lewis with a good first touch, and it flashed past the far post. His shot on the left foot. Right idea, going for that bottom right-hand corner. Not far away.
Substitute for Wellington has got these fans on their feet. Tomer Hamed, Israeli hero, the national team, scored a stack of goals at international level. 17 goals, and his fan club's out tonight. They've all organised themselves. They picked this match to come out to. He's come off the bench. Tomer Hamed looking for his first goal for Wellington. It's youth off, experience on, with Ben Waine the man to make way. Troisi looking to bring in Duke. Tim Payne got a little cute with that. Duke will never give up. There's no such thing as a lost cause in the eyes of Mitchell Duke. And that was another example of such.
He certainly started to shield that from quite a distance.
Rufer in some space. It went over the head of Duke, who was a little disappointed to see Daniel Wilmering so far back. Big opportunity here for Wellington. Ball, he can feed it in, and Piscopo just dwelt on his run ever so slightly, and that was the difference between picking the ball up here and picking it out of the back of the net for Daniel Margush, perhaps. Still alive. Oh, great ball in from Lewis. Penalty.
That is quite brilliant play from Piscopo. You thought the chance was gone when David Ball thought he might have played it a bit earlier, but still whizzed that across the face of goal. Piscopo slightly on his heels, but what about the play from there? One touch and shifts it straight away. And there's the contact.
Yeah, just direct running from Reno Piscopo. Brilliantly so. So Ulysses Davila is the usual penalty taker for Wellington. He's happy for this man to try and score his first goal for Wellington Phoenix. Tomer Hamed, with all his fan club converging behind this goal. He's looking at them through the eyes of Daniel Margush and the net, which he hopes to bury the ball into in the next couple of seconds. Hamed, calmly done. 3-2 Wellington. What a game we have here at Bankwest. And the celebrations begin at the south end.
Well, we've had some super games. And there's still, what, half an hour, you'd think, at least here. But we are looking at one of the games of the season. And we've still got half an hour to go. Brilliant play from Wellington, that transition. And Piscopo to create the penalty. And didn't keep his cool. Slight hesitation in his run-up, waited for the keeper to go. Dispatched it to the other side. Quick feet there. There's the contact. Clear penalty. McGowan knew it. Look at this, just a hesitate there. Keeper goes and he slides it the other way.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to do it 3 times, the Wanderers.
Extraordinary game on the bubble here at Bankwest. And Tomer Hamed, who scored in La Liga, scored in the Premier League in England, former teammate of Matty Ryan at Brighton, helped get them promoted to the Premier League. And now he's an A-League goal scorer as well, with a brilliantly taken penalty. And fair play, Uli Davila. There was no histrionics when Hamed went straight over to the ball and picked it up as soon as the penalty was given. And Uli was only too happy to hand it over to a confident, fresh player off the bench. The Wanderers, again, with it all to do. Duke! Oh, what a response! This is extraordinary. What a goal from Mitchell Duke. Wellington's players are complaining. Sean Evans is going over to his assistant or having a listen to what...
Well, we're going to have a look at it again, but what about the finish? Absolutely extraordinary from Mitchell Duke. They think there's a push. To be fair, I didn't see it. There seemed to be contact. The VAR will have a look at this. Sean Evans is quite convinced that he didn't see anything. It's a long ball that's causing problems all evening.
He just gets his body set, it looks like. I mean, every single Wellington player went over to Sean Evans complaining. Ufi Tale blowing up at Kurt Ams in the technical area, asking for the push. Tim Payne called for it, but Mitchell Duke,
wow,
playing the whistle if you don't mind.
It didn't seem to be a lot of contact, and he gets his body position in the right way and dispatched it into the back of the net. Technically perfect.
Vitale is into the book. He's got to be careful because he's outside his technical area, even though the yellow card was brandished by Sean Evans, still giving everyone a piece of his mind down there.
Well, barely had time to celebrate, had they? And that long diagonal has come up trumps for them. It's looked dangerous all evening. And I didn't think... I think the way I look at that is Payne misread it. The flight of that ball.
It's a foul by Mutch on Piscopo, which gives us a bit of time to take a breath. Pozza, I don't know how you put into words from up here what we're seeing. We're trying, and how do you put into words what you're seeing down there?
Well, I just had to wait 2 seconds. Hang on.
Davila into ball, perhaps. Wilmering covers well.
Well, that was the second bit of the time I had to wait. I always had to wait because, in fact, Tale just asked me what did I think, and I told him what I'm going to say to you now. There's no way there was enough contact for a free kick. This is just an amazing game, like you said. It was about 3 weeks ago when we saw these two tussle, these two sides in Wollongong, and that was a superb game. This has gone even further.
McGowan gets in the way of Ahmed's cross.
Yeah, look, I didn't see enough contact. I think Tim Payne misjudged the flight of the ball. Didn't Duke get his body set, cushioned it, dispatched it.
Davila looking for contact from Wilmering. Rufer feigns the first cross. It's a corner. Yeah, it looked like he was first to where the ball was going to land, Duke, and he just set his body, maybe a little nudge on the way through, but it happens anyway. It's the decision that Sean Evans and all the other officials have made. It sticks. It's 3-3, and this next 25 minutes, there's the potential for anything here at Bankwest Stadium. Looks like Carl Robinson's about to go to his bench as well. The night of the extraordinary at Bankwest on a Monday. The A-League season that keeps delivering. Lewis. His corner is met by Abini. Oh, Margush thought about coming for it. He stays back in the end. McGowan is the one to clear with the help of Bacchus. Devlin just puts it up. Gordon's good enough to get under it. Russell's there as well. Does it fall to Abini? No, McGarry gets in before him. Driving infield. Oh, that was an important intervention from Bacchus because it took it off the boot of ball. And away comes Wilmering. Didn't go out? Yes, it did in the end. Ufi Tale, shades of Dennis Lilly playing the Windies all those years ago at the MCG. Massive appeal. It was out, but in a different way.
I've got to say about Adam, you can say what you like about Ufi Tale, but he kicks every ball. He is passionate, and I'll tell you what, that rubs off on his team. You know, when it was 2-2 and the Wanderers were you know, all over Wellington, teams of lesser character would have just basically laid down. They didn't. They kept coming back, and they're still coming back right now. And I'm telling you, eventually you take on the character of your manager as a footballing team, and you see with that manager that they've got, the passion and how much he wants to win, it rubs off on your team.
Passionate, he very much is. Vitale. So it looks like it's going to be a double substitution. Kamau and Yeboah. Perhaps just Yeboah firstly for Wanderers, but we'll get to that when the ball goes out. Duke, he's still charging. Mitchell Duke scored another at Bankwest. What a spectacular goal, it must be said. It'd be hard to decide the goal of the game. Devlin shades it just. But who knows, we might get another contender, Robbie. Who cares who's got the goal of the game? We're fortunate enough to see both of them so far. Here's
that ball you see, I think he's misjudged that. There's little contact, minimal. But there's nothing wrong with that technically. Perfect. Cushions it, gets himself horizontal, dispatched it into the back of the net.
That's his night done, though. He was coming off, having a conversation with Carl Robinson right there. So Yeboah and Kamau, fresh legs. James Troisi, the other player to make way. Holding his spot for now is Abini. He's got Simon Cox as well on the bench, Carl Robinson. Bruce Kamau's 50th game for Western Sydney Wanderers.
And you just see that action there. Now Wellington have that option as well. You saw Hamed win that ball aerially. So they have that threat now with Mohamed.
Duke's ankle knock that he picked up in the first half is the main reason why he was dragged off, but because he's perhaps getting ready to ice it right now. But imagine that as a player you score a goal like that, Robbie, you'd be rather confident in your own ability for a while on the pitch, looking for it to try and do it again. Bacchus looking for Yeboah. If you're coming off the bench tonight, you have to get up to speed pretty quickly to this one. Evans has found a foul in favour of Wellington. There's no time for kind of easing into the game, Robbie.
Well, it's always a problem for substitutes coming on and getting yourself up to speed in the game, but I can tell you, for the most part this season, the substitutes have. Because we've seen substitutes decide games and turn games.
Vitale does have the speed of Josh Sotirio to bring on as well, who's fit again after a knee problem. Kamau's fouled. And Piscopo, who's the first Knicks player into the book. Player, I said. Coach is already in there. About 20 to go of this one. We don't want it to end. 3-3. Not just goals, brilliant goals from both sides tonight. Still a fair bit to come. Sale has come for that one and does it well.
And that's what you want the goalkeeper to do. That takes the pressure off.
Lewis, a little 1-2. Rufo, whose ball he was looking for. Davila, who was on the other side of men paying attention to him, but Bacchus got in front. Cut the pass out really well, so Wanderers can go again. Russell taking Piscopo to the byline, and James McGarry happily meets that with his cranium. Gordon, his cross, looking for Yeboah, who cushions it off his thigh. Mutch, quick thinking, out to Kamau, across the face of goal, and Bernie Abini wasn't quite on the front foot.
Yeah, hard one to get to, but a great ball across. Another very good situation for Western Sydney Wanderers. Get it out eventually to Kamau. Doesn't try to beat his defender, whips that across the face.
It's going to be Nikolai Muller. And that's Bernie's night done. So the German who can provide some really intelligent forward runs and moments in the final third for Wanderers is the newest problem to contend with for Wellington Phoenix in the back four there. Fresh haircut. searing pace of Josh Sotirio being readied. 81 games for Wanderers, 11 goals across a few seasons before making the move to Wellington. McGowan just got the face right there. Devlin to Hamed, didn't quite have the run that he was looking for feeding off him. He was almost pointing to Davila, thinking that he was going to make that run.
That's exactly who he thought, and I think he should have. He peeled back inside when the space was down that inside right channel.
Bruce, his first touch, takes him past Clayton Lewis, who brings him down. And Lewis into the book. Great first touch from Bruce on his 50th for Western Sydney Wanderers, setting up this for Nikolai Muller. His first action in the game will be to try and float one onto the head of Ziggy Gordon or Dylan McGowan, who's peeled out far right. Here you can see him, arms outstretched. No Wellington player tracking him out there, but they'll watch the run coming in. Make a beeline for the 6-yard box, you'd imagine, Dylan. Muller and Wilmering having a little discussion. Looks like seniority will prevail this one. Floats it up, and it's a good header from Tomer Hamed at the back there. McGarry beats McGowan pretty easily. They can break quickly here. Piscopo, Hamed, back to go forward. That one didn't quite have the direction or pace it needed. Davila, Hamed again trying to play forward quickly. Foul blown by Evans in the favour of Wellington.
And how about Davila? And some great touches from Hamed since he's come on. Davila able to shield that ball. Great body strength.
David Ball is the man to make way for Josh Sotirio. As he always does, David Ball just run himself into the ground. So it's Sotirio and Hamed up front for Wellington. Joshua Sotirio, who all the Wellington players are living in and around the Wollongong area at the moment, of course, having to move to this part of the world. Josh worked out pretty quickly that he could have stayed at home in Western Sydney with his family, but there's better things to do with life than sitting in Sydney traffic if you can avoid it. So he moved down to Wellington, down to Wollongong, which is basically Wellington now. Good relationship between the two down there. Here's his free kick. Davila, set play, sets it up for Lewis. Not a bad option.
Well, I suppose on a night like this, why not?
Sotirio, immediate energy to hassle Ziggy Gordon into a rash decision. Piscopo thought he had someone behind him there in Sotirio. Instead it was just Gordon. Now Wanderers can spring forward. Wilmering down this left. Carl Robinson urging everyone to get up and support behind here Wilmering. If he can't get that ball that he wants into the box, he elects to go to Kamau. Bacchus and Mutch. Back out to Wilmering, who kept his width. Back to Natter. His cross. Sale thought about coming for it and didn't. And in the end, it drops out to Davila, looking for this pace of Sotirio. Here he comes. McGowan's there, though. Devlin challenging, getting above Jordan Mutch, which is not easy given the height differential there. Just need a step ladder, Cameron. Offside, Wanderers.
Yeah, and you can see with all the changes, this is where it's been happening in a lot of games, as the game sort of loses its shape. It's hard to see the structure of the both teams. Fresh legs, lots of energy, rotation.
10 minutes of normal time left. We hope about 25 minutes of injury time just to keep this one going. It won't be. It'll only be a couple. But who has got the magic moment? 3-3. We've seen the spectacular tonight. That's wonderful ball movement from Wellington. Piscopo looking for Hamed, and well, in the end, Mark Natta did enough.
Just enough, and he nearly got across him. He darted in just a little bit too late. Great play, defensive play from the young player. And the break, some of the touches have been breathtaking from both sets of players this evening.
Impressive young player, Mark Natta, just 18 years of age. He's had a bit to do tonight, just his 9th A-League appearance. McGowan this time is across. Back to Devlin, though. A shield and use his body to win a free kick. McGarry, Piscopo's in an acre of space at the top of the box. Gordon, as he does, just flings himself desperately in front of the cross.
Piscopo trying to come back onto his right side. They left him in quite a bit of space in the penalty area. They'll get a corner. Well, Hamed scored from the penalty spot. He's a real aerial threat and get the right delivery from a set piece.
Interesting to see who picks him up here. It's a little zonal. Western Sydney's Tate Russell for company. Hamed. Lewis was free for a bit there before Bruce Kamau realised the danger. Cross over. Good header from Wilmering. McGarry will have a go.
He had to take it quickly and just didn't get the right touch. First touch on it. Header out there, and you see to try and dig that one out.
Hard to tell who is the more likely at the moment, Bozzo. It's almost like lotto. We all win if there is a spectacular moment to win it. What do you think at the moment?
Well, definitely there will be an opportunity for both teams before the end. There's no doubt about that, to make sure they can put away the winner, and whether they will or not is a different story. But as the game gets on, like Robbie said, those substitutes, the fact that you're able to make 5 substitutes each side, make sure that the game that basically it kind of changes in a way. And then there's Ufi Taylor, who's still arguing with Kurt Ams, as he was with me as well a minute ago. He wasn't happy. He thinks that that goal should have been disallowed. But as I told him, if you're going to start blowing for free kicks like that, then you're going to stop the game every 2 or 3 minutes like in other sports.
Kurt Ams has just had a running dialogue mainly with Ufi Taylor tonight. He's still going through it down there, the 4th official, with Taylor discussing all parts of life, perhaps, mainly this football match. Wilmering's free kick. He's in. Natta jumped. He's flicked on by McGing, it looked like, for Wellington. Out is Sotirio. McGarry, if they get this right, they can break. They can down this left. Off he goes. Josh Sotirio. Hamed can't quite bring it under control straight away. Stretches for it. He hasn't hurt himself right there. Back it goes for Kamau, who bursts free. He's got Muller on his right. Nikolai Muller. The cross back. Yeboah! The Wanderers have done it for now. There's more to come, but this extraordinary game keeps on going to new levels. Wanderers in front.
Well, he kept his composure. And again, it's a very, very good finish. And they made the mistake. It was Wellington that looked like they had the break on. They players to the right side, and Hamed just couldn't deliver that final pass, and they picked the ball up here in the middle. There's Hamed. Not a great touch there. Super tackle. And then they're away. Kamau. Now they're 3-on-3. Plays it to Muller. Looks like he's going to shoot, but cuts it back. Yeboah's just hung off. And he finds that. No chance for Sale. Super challenge there for Tate Russell. That makes the goal just as much as anything that happens afterwards. Wellington trying to transition, but in the end, 3 passes later, they're picking the ball out of their own net. And again, substitutes producing.
We've seen some extraordinary games of football on this piece of real estate. In the old days of Pertex Stadium, Parramatta Stadium, whatever you wanted to call it, the night of the Champions League final, Tommy Urich's goal, the night of the 5-4, the semi-final. The grand final here last season. This is right up there, this game.
And that was a goal made from the bench. Kamau to Muller to Yeboah. And Wellington had a really good opportunity for the counter. And Hammer just couldn't control the ball. Tate Russell with that super challenge.
Charles Lokalai Ngoy is on for Wellington Phoenix. A late pickup for the Knicks. Injury cover mainly. He was set to play in the NPL this season in New South Wales. Marconi, Clayton Lewis is the man to go off. So Lokalai Ngoy, who was at Sydney FC for a short time, Brisbane Roar, hasn't scored an A-League goal. Now's as good a time as any, as Rufer is fouled to try and declare it. Bosnich called it. It was going to be a big chance for our other side. Western Sydney have had theirs, perhaps, and scored off it. See what Wellington can do. We'll get to Bozza in a moment. It's hard to break in at the moment and go down. There's so much action. Wellington are just going to throw everything, as you'd imagine they should, at Western Sydney Wanderers in these last few minutes. Rufer has got beyond. Chance for a cross. Ahmed can't quite bring it under control. Kamau is there. They're deep Wanderers. Wilmering just clears. Boa goes straight into Payne. No foul given. Kamau dwells on the ball. He gives away the foul, and Davila kicks it away. And we will pick up a yellow card.
And in all this craziness, if you want to call it that, you have to remember that the Wanderers have come back, been down every time. They went down 1-0, equalised, 2-1, equalised, 3-2, equalised, and they're now winning 4-3.
Yeah, that night when they came back to win 5-4 in that semi-final, they were down 3-0 before they even blinked against Brisbane Roar on that occasion, but it was a more incremental approach to coming back and trying to win this game for Western Sydney. Muller. And how much time on the ball out there with so much going on. Mutch. Imagine they're just going to press like maniacs now at Wellington Phoenix to try and win the ball back as quickly as possible, which in itself might open up more opportunities for Wanderers if they're quick about it. That's good ball movement from the home side. Muller comes in to receive and try and link up with Kamau. Rufer thinks about going back to Sale. In the end, his size advantage allows him to shepherd it out. Bozza, you feel, Bozza, that Wellington will get one more big chance?
Yes, they will. No doubt about that. And I wouldn't be surprised as well if Wanderers do get one to finish it off as well.
Over the top, looking for Sotirio as Devlin. We've never had a 4-all draw in the A-League. Payne's header to Piscopo. How do they fashion this chance? Davila is in a central position, asking for Piscopo to pass him the ball. In the end, he does. Can't quite get his feet sorted out, the Mexican. Back to McGing. Payne. Rufer. Devlin. Piscopo, 1-2, beautifully worked. Just wanted on his right. Slide it across to his left. Sotirio against his former club. Could he? Yes, he can. He finds Davila. Toe poke. Blocked. Piscopo. Blocked again. Yeboah herring after it. McGing gets there first. McGarry, is he fouled by Muller? If he's going to play advantage, that's a very good place for a free kick. In the end, it goes back to Davila. Gets it back on his right. Chance here for Hamed. Drops to Lokalai Ngoy. That's blocked by Wilmering. Three blocks in the space of about 10 seconds there for Wanderers. Davila with the left! Oh, nearly the top corner.
Inches. And they defended it pretty well. Just crazy from left side to right side. Hit the ball. Players on the ball in the penalty box. Wanderers not diving in. Great idea from Davila, but not the spectacular this time.
In amongst all that excitement, I just wanted to say, as soon as Lokalingois came on, that Wellington have gone 3 up front, Davia just in behind them, 2 midfields behind them too. So like Adam said, they're going to throw everything at Western Sydney Wanderers in this last 5 minutes.
Kitchen sink and every appliance in the kitchen they're going to throw at Western Sydney. No foul there on Devlin. Muller just stood over him, waiting for him to do something. That's a foul by Devlin on Kamau. 5 extra minutes. Plenty of time for Wellington to get something out of this one.
And Devlin was looking for a foul himself, but that, if Wellington are to fashion a chance, they can't afford to give free kicks away because Wanderers are just going to wind down the clock. Wanderers, as you say, with them throwing everything forward, might get another chance themselves.
Escapo is fouled by Muller. Kicking it away is Mutch. Trying to play it quickly is Wellington, and they can through Rufer. Direct to Ahmed. Well defended by Dylan McGowan. He gave away the penalty, which gave Wellington another lead, which at the moment is not going to count for much. Devlin into Piscopo. Plenty of bodies in motion here for Wellington. De Villa fighting through challenge after challenge. McGarry's got the chance to get the first-time cross over. He does in the end. Ziggy Gordon's in the way, as he always seems to be. McGarry can't bring it under control straight away, and he's out for a goal kick.
Well, got himself into a great position. The cross and lots of bodies in there, and it was a Wanderers, as you said, Ziggy Gordon getting that ball away, and he couldn't gather it for the second time. What a performance from all of these players.
What a game. What a game. We've got a Mexican contingent cheering on their man, Willie De Villa, and his teammates Wellington. An Israeli congregation as well cheering on Tomer Hamed. We've got the RBB in full voice. We've got kids, mums, dads just enjoying all the action. We've got 2 coaches whose nerves are frayed beyond belief, and a bunch of players who have given us absolutely everything here tonight at Bankwest, and still not done. 2.5 minutes, halfway through time added on. Escapo over the top to Sotirio. That's the play. Gordon read it.
Didn't hit it hard enough. And well read by Ziggy Gordon defensively. It's been excellent, particularly in this last 15 minutes.
After all of this, Wanderers get a fair prize. They go second behind Central Coast Mariners to 19 points on goal difference ahead of Adelaide United. 6 points in arrears of Central Coast. Like a lying goy, that's well after manoeuvre. De Villa can't get the cross away, shot away I should say, because he was just a convergence of Wanderers all around him all of a sudden. Devlin now to McGing. Ollie Sales on halfway. You'd want to be careful because Tate Russell can let fly right away. Sales still going backwards. Russell, does he just go to the corner? No. Tries to play in Muller. Devlin wins a foul. There's a chance there for Tate Russell to have a ping from halfway. Sale. Out to Rufer. Straight up forward. Off the head of Hamed. Back to Yeboah and Rufer. To Payne. Last minute. Hamed again flicks it on. Sotirio. Hamed! Oh, wow! Oh, my goodness! To use those famous words in the A-League. Good grief, what a game we've had here at Bankwest tonight. And in the last minute, Tomer Hamed has scored his 2nd goal for the club. And Wellington, justifiably, they'd feel, are going to get something out of this classic from the A-League.
Well, just when you think you've seen everything. I mean, that's just absolutely extraordinary. It's just a long ball, and that's what it does. It creates chaos. There's no time to play their usual intricate football. Little touch on there, a lucky deflection back, and he just takes it first time. He's got no time at all to do anything else. and he just smashes it into the top right-hand corner of the net. And this extraordinary game has now given us a first 4-4, because I think you said that before, Adam, but that is extraordinary. And yes, you can say they didn't defend it properly, they didn't clear it.
Hang on a minute.
Or is he offside?
Hang on a minute.
They're showing it. It's probably, I didn't see it at first glance.
Is the left shoulder of Tomer Hamed off? They're having a forensic look at it.
It's going to be nervous for both.
Carl Robinson is staring deathly at his team. He can't quite believe that they've allowed that to eventuate. This is close. This is very, very close. We wait. Now, unlike yesterday,
It's going to be offside.
we've got the calibration that's been done across the line, and Tomer Hamed is standing there with his arms outstretched. He can't quite believe that he's been called offside. So yesterday, because of the rain,
Wow.
it's his shoulder. It's his left shoulder, which has got him about half a foot, if a little less, offside. Mark Natter was the last line for Wanderers. Fair to them, they pushed up pretty well in a line there.
Without knowing it.
Without knowing it, but
Without anyone knowing it.
all the Wellington players are going off, but it's just a mathematical equation. Again, I repeat, it is set out, they frame it, they collaborate all the mathematical information they need to come up with that grid, and when there's an offside like that, it's software that's used to come up with the offside. Just explaining what it is, like it or don't like it, that's the way they do things. And we're still, it looks like, not going to get a 4-all draw in the A-League unless something absolutely extraordinary happens in these extra minutes we've got because of that adjudication by VAR.
Well, there's only 30 seconds left when it happens, so they can't be too long. I don't think they're going to get another chance. And it's cruel on them.
They get one out of sympathy. They can launch it forward here. He's going to get an opportunity. Devlin decides not to kick it long. Want to hurry up. Evans doesn't have the whistle in his mouth just yet. Here is the possible chance. McGowan. What a big header that was at the back. Devlin goes charging in. Backus is there first, and we're done.
Extraordinary game.
What an amazing game of football at Bankwest Stadium. When you rock up to a game of football, you hope you're going to get something that you'll remember for a very long time. We got a number of those situations in the last 90 minutes of this instant A-League classic. You have to feel for Wellington, given how the equaliser was rubbed out. But that's the way of the world in football at the moment. Vitale walks away with nothing. A fair bit of pride for his side this evening. Wanderers get all 3 points. They do go second. Wellington remain on 11 points. Look at facts and figures and whatever else. When you look at a game of football like this, you're just happy that you watched it. We're happy that we're here live on Fox Sports to show this beauty that we can't wait to watch again in the highlights of. Full-time at Bankwest, Western Sydney Wanderers 4, Wellington Phoenix 3 in an extraordinary game of football. We'll get some reaction shortly. Kenny Miller having a chat to Tomer Hamed. He's going to come over and be told, unfortunately, by Mark Bosnich, who's probably seen the official line go up, that he was offside. He provided so much off the bench. Bozza, down to you.
Thank you, Adam. I've got Tomer Hamed down here with me. Look, first and foremost, Tomer, it was an amazing game. There's no doubt about that. Let's get straight to that last goal. It was millimetres offside, unfortunately. But can I just ask you, in terms of that type of situation, what do you think is the right thing? Would you If it was down to you, would you make it something a little bit different in terms of how we determine offside in that situation?
It's hard because when it's against us, always we want it to be different. But I think in the end, both sides can, in VAR decision, can take it good or not. But today, we were on the bad side of that. But I hope that next time it will work for us. Obviously, for me, when you score a goal in the last minute, you go to celebrate and then you realize it's not goal, it's hard. But most of the difficult now is that we didn't get the points, and we are really disappointed after a good game for us.
It's so difficult because it was an absolutely amazing game. How did you see it? You just went ahead 3 times, 3 separate times.